For at least the past 10 years, I have been attempting to be a thought leader. That means that what I have been doing is I have been studying the energy of humanity through all of the various energetic channels that I've been able to access, from YouTube to Twitter to Instagram to Facebook to all of the different traditional websites that exist, like Wikipedia and Medium and Reddit. And the thing that I have really came to a conclusion on is that a lot of people are really, really, really stuck. Like, really, really stuck. And I'm one of those people. I have spent years of my life wondering, why did I go to college? Why did I get a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science from Wayne State University? Why did I have the jobs that I have? Why did I choose the people that I chose to be in my life? Because looking at where I'm from now, where I came from was a bunch of bullshit. It just was. I mean, life is hard as hell as a human being manifested in a human existence where historically exile was a severe punishment. And I am a person who lives in exile. It's not the true exile of old. Because in the exile of old, I wouldn't have a place to stay. I wouldn't have the ability to do some type of work. I wouldn't necessarily have access to technology and the ability to share my thoughts across the interwebs. The vast galaxy and universe of entities that could ever come to know my particular existence from this device that we call a smartphone. And to be in this manifested human state where I depend on other humans, and to not have a real single human in my life that I can depend on, is not only awful, it is dreadful, it is horrifying, it is frightening, it is pathetic, it is ridiculous, it is humiliating, it is a state of existential despair. I have been searching my entire life to find somewhere where I really, really fit in, where the people that I surround myself with are not only happy for me to be there, they are inspired by my presence to do good things on a regular basis for others. And I don't want someone emulating Jesus Christ, because no one can be better than Jesus Christ, the greatest man that ever lived and ever will and ever has. And ever lived, in period, point blank. It's simply that I want to find a group of people who actually get some benefit, some joy out of doing good things for other people, regardless if it fulfills some sort of narcissistic, holier than thou complex. The point is, I just want to see your actions and your behaviors and your energy result in amazing outcomes for all of the people whose lives you happen to touch. And I want to be a part of that. I really do. I don't want to be in a situation where I'm having to figure out day by day how I'm going to be able to make enough money to pay my measly rent in my currently mouse-infested shithole at my current address. And the thing about this particular mouse-infested shithole, which really gets me to talking about all of this existential crisis, is that a person that you depend on can quite literally decide at a moment's notice to pull the rug from underneath you and say to you, you're a piece of shit, you don't deserve anything, you're worthless, and I'm also going to make your life really, really hard while you're on the way to finding the life that you really want to live. And that when it gets down to the nitty gritty, and it really gets down to the nitty gritty, what I have to do is a horrific mission that I believe wholeheartedly most people in my position would be in a severe, deep existential despair. Severely deep. Over just thinking about being in a mouse-infested shithole, knowing there are laws that are supposed to, in theory, prevent this very situation from happening. And yet it is happening because the laws are unfortunately enforced by people. And because they're enforced by people, and because people have their own motivations for why they choose to do the things that they do, the perfection of a rule perfectly crafted to address a severe issue can be ignored, can be downplayed, or can be ridiculed simply because of your appearance, your vocal timbre, your height, your weight, your youthfulness, and your general demeanor of, well, because I'm following the rule, I need to get a benefit for following the rule. And you find out the hard way that following the rules is mainly for you to be good with God. It's not to be good with other people. There is no sense in caring a whole lot about following the rules, especially at this point. Like, really, of course you want to follow the damn law so you don't end up in jail with your reputation run through the goddamn mud, unable to do anything more than basically slave level jobs once you leave prison. Oh, don't break the law. Please don't do that. But I want you to understand that me saying all of this is me saying that sometimes what you need to do is you need to take some risk. You need to decide, you know what, even though I live in this mouse-infested shithole and I'm required to pay rent on it, fuck that motherfucker and his rent. Let me take that money and go somewhere else where somebody is going to actually appreciate how hard I work to make sure that they get paid their rent for the place that their job is under the law, to provide a safe and habitable place for human living. And that as a condition of this, they were certified by the locale that they live in to do so. That instead of worrying about what other people are saying about, oh, if you don't go to college, you're going to be stuck at working at McDonald's. May I give you a bit of a suggestion here? If you will allow me to. And please, with as much respect as I can give you, and honor to your life, and the complete wonder and grace that you provide me by existing, would you mind taking this suggestion for me? If you're young enough to not have went to college yet, would you mind just going ahead and getting the McDonald's job or the KFC job or the Taco Bell job or the White Castle job or the Pizza Hut job or whatever fucking job that you can get with just a high school diploma and being 18 years old? And then just take that job and work it and save some money. You know, the richest man in Babylon saved 10% of his income. So if you save at least 10% of your income, you're going to be the richest man in Babylon. And the reason why I say you should do that is because you should take the risk of not having a college degree to see if you can actually make some shit happen using a McDonald's job with no debt. Because the worst thing to do is to be in my position, graduating from college with $30K in student loan debt and not have a consistent employer in your entire life value your presence enough to allow you to stay consistently employed without telling you things like you smell too good, you look too good, you're too handsome, and you dress too well for this particular position, and you're making everyone else jealous of your particular demeanor by which you take care of yourself. And you know what that means? You're on the chopping block. Don't put yourself in my position. And you know what? If you happen to be particularly blessed by God in this particular instance, and you have the beauty and the aesthetics and the look, and you can look in the mirror every day and see that you do, will you please take what God has given you and show the entire world through social media and entertainment and other high-profile existences that your existence is worth taking care of? Would you please do that for me? Because the one thing I don't want you to do is I don't want you to ever end up in my position where you have to worry about where you're going to live at. You have to worry about what job you're going to get. You have to worry about going after your lawyer who sabotaged your $1 million payday for a job that you lost illegally and should have never fucking lost and should still have to this fucking day. paying you $50K a year to fix computers for Kroger and Aldi from Pomeroy IT Solution Sales Company Incorporated. Run me my motherfucking check. That's all I'm a motherfucking say. And I really want you to be able to sit with this entire message in this video, however disjointed and discombobulated and kind of all over the place it is. The energy that I'm attempting to push through with everything I'm saying, the energy I'm attempting to push through here is, I really want you to understand that one day you're going to get older. Time waits for no man. You're going to get older one day. And when you get older one day, you're going to want to be able to look back on your life at wonderful memories that you created by taking a risk, by following a non-traditional path, and by choosing to make that non-traditional path as successful as possible. There is no reason for you in the year of our Lord, 2025, moving into 2026 in a couple of months, from the date of the posting of this video, to be talking about I still got to go to college to get a good job. I still got to have the marriage and the kids and a 2.5, family size and the white dog and the picket fence and the car and the suburban house. Okay, that dream is dead. It died. Okay? The Gen Xers and the Boomers, they killed that for us Millennials and Gen Z and the upcoming Gen Alpha. They killed that for us. Our current generation is going to have to just hustle, unfortunately. As much as it sucks. As much as every day you wake up, you don't want to work your fucking 60-hour-a-week shit can job, keep that job and save the money and stop spending in all this shit that you don't need. Just for a little bit. You can go back to buying a Starbucks and the avocado toast once you got a little some money in the goddamn bank. Maybe $500 in the bank, $1,000 in the bank you ain't got to touch. Go ahead and buy all this Starbucks and avocado toast you want. Fuck them motherfuckers. They sitting up here talking about they can't sell their houses. They can't sell their cars. They're getting laid off in their old age, and now they're seeing the effects of age discrimination that they encouraged by doing that very action to people when they got into management. Boo-hoo, cry me a river, Gen X and Boomers. Cry me a river, okay? I got to worry about my fellow Millennials and the up-and-coming Gen Alpha and, the currently budding Gen Z who are actively attempting to take this shit can of a goddamn world that you left for us and turn it into something much more amazing. We're about breaking generational curses, not keeping them going, all right? And we also have enough awareness to understand that we may be creating generational curses and we're just unaware of it. We don't know what generational curse that we could create as Millennials because we're living it. We have to figure out how can we stop the previous generational curse from affecting the future generation while understanding that maybe, we might be creating some bad trends. Stump, clap, hey is a meme. You feel me? Skinny jeans are a meme. When you see somebody born in the year 2000, 2010, you got to take a little pause. You see how old you're getting, right? The current generation of Millennials being fascinated with living childlike lives through engaging with things like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And League of Legends and other gaming platforms and making a career out of that. And being successful in showing how that's important. Yeah, there might be some generational trauma that we're going to be creating for the future generations. There might be some generational curses farther down the line. The future generations going to be like them goddamn Millennials. We know that. And that's not important to focus on right now because all of that shit is something that, as long as we're aware enough to understand what it is that we're doing, we can at least leave people with the knowledge that when the last of the Millennials get called home by God, people will say, well, they created some meme-worthy stuff when they were alive. And they kind of were a depressed bunch. And, they kind of may have overthought things a little bit. Maybe they should have taken more action than bed rotting. But I can't say that the Millennials didn't give it their best shot to attempt to be the best they could be in spite of all the bullshit that they have to go through to get there. That maybe we can become the fun old people in 30, 40 years, not the old people that trying to, kick you out because you ain't lily white. The original people who came over here, the rejects from England, coming over here and making the 13 colonies. You're not a part of that original group. They don't want you here. And they don't even want to work the fields that now aren't being worked because they're like, I'm not going to do back-breaking labor for barely a hair above minimum wage, even though the brown people and the black people was doing it happily. Okay, I'm all right. All I want you to really take from this particular video, outside of me just being able to put out my energy into the world today and not being afraid to say, it doesn't matter if the video makes fucking sense. It just matters that I woke up today and decided, you know what? It's time for me to do something. Anything. No matter if it's going to be successful or not successful, go viral or not go viral, if anyone ever watches this fucking video or not watch it. The point is, today I woke up and I said, this is a failure. The dream is a failure. I was lied to. I have to wake up every day realizing I was lied to. I attempted to do some shit for 10 years. That was a fucking failure. Okay? I'm not going to spend another 10 years doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. I'm not insane. I believe in God. I read the Bible. I believe in the second covenant of Jesus Christ, which simply says, love thy neighbor. That's it. All Jesus Christ says is love thy neighbor. And so I want to tell you that I love you. Fellow internet neighbor, I do love you. I do see your humanity. I pray for you every day. And I want you to know that if you don't think anybody can be in your corner, and you know that you're doing the very, very best to uphold the covenant of Jesus Christ and be able to say every day that I made an attempt to spread love and possibly even joy and excitement and wonder and peace to my fellow human beings, I want to be a part of your world for sure, because that's what I'm looking to do. I'm looking to do more than just exist in a narcissistic bubble reality where I think that I'm better than everyone else and that I deserve everything more than everyone else gets, and you all must kiss my ass in order for you to get anything from me. No, I want us all to eat. As one of our great thought leaders of the day has said, there's enough food and pie at the table for everybody to fucking eat. And I want to make sure that I bring everybody to the goddamn table I can bring so we can all share in the bounty of God's glorious universal kingdom. My name is Chavez Clemens Jr. This is the energy that I want to send to you for today. And may God Almighty continue to grant you and your loved ones many, many, many blessings of abundance, vitality, prosperity, and peace in your travels.